Hi, my name is Constance Gibson, and if you passed me on the street today, you probably wouldn't think that I love to do many sports and have many active hobbies. You also probably wouldn't think that I've been hurt by a lot of these sports. Have you ever not been allowed to participate in something that you really love to do? Did that experience make you love it more, or have you never gone back to it? I personally enjoy a wide variety of hobbies and almost all sports, but some of my favorite ones are ones that at some point I was not able to participate in. For instance, horseback riding is something that I really love to do, and I learned at a very young age. My mom grew up with horses, and she taught all of her kids how to ride. We lived in Washington when I was first born, and on the farm that we lived on, we had horses that she taught us how to be careful around and how to ride them. And I learned to ride before I could even walk. We would go on many family outings and just have a good time. As I got older, we moved around a lot, and so our horses had to stay with our cousins. They never learned how to treat animals, especially with horses. And when we were there visiting, I didn't understand why my mom had said to stay away from the horses when they were out in the pasture. Well, my cousin decided that she wanted to go and feed them, and she asked me to come along with them. And being young, I ignored what my mom said, and I went with her. I got trampled because the horse that we were feeding wasn't tied up, and she was aggressive with myself and my cousin. This left me with many broken ribs, and I still have problems with the cartilage that holds my ribs in place, moving and making my ribs poke into my lungs, making some of the activities that I like to do very hard. It wasn't really my fault, but it took a while for me to be around horses again. My mom didn't trust me because I didn't listen to her, and I was personally afraid of them, so it took quite a few years for me to be able to ride a horse again. Volleyball is another one of my favorite sports. It was the first sport event that I ever went to or was around. My oldest sister is about 11 years older than I am, and she played when she was in high school, and I would go to her games and I would watch her and cheer for her. As when I was a toddler, my mom coached as well, and I would play in the ball cart during practice, and I would run after the volleyballs, trying to catch them before the other girls did. And I tried to do the activities that they were doing as well, and while that was very hard for a toddler, I seemed to enjoy it. I also had amazing coaches that encouraged me. I wasn't very outgoing in high school or in middle school, and my coaches were very supportive and they were never degrading. And when I showed potential for being a good blocker, my coaches nicknamed me the Wall so that I would be more aggressive at the net. They still encourage me in almost everything that I do, and they're some of my greatest cheerleaders. In high school, I broke my hand 3 separate years. The first 2 years I was sidelined and I had to watch my team win or lose, and I was unable to participate in that activity. And senior year, I broke it for a third time. I did not let this stop me from playing that year, and I eventually went to state with my team. Snowboarding is another thing that I like to do, and I learned it later in life, a little bit later in life, and it's something that I still really enjoy. My high school sweetheart, who is now my husband, taught me when we were freshmen in high school. And I personally enjoy it for two main reasons. One is that it's my husband's favorite sport, so it's something that we can do together because he doesn't really like organized activities. It's also nice to have something to do in the wintertime to get rid of cabin fever. I'm currently pregnant and we're going to have a baby in February, and that makes it so that I can't participate in snowboarding, which is really hard on the winter blues. To summarize, I've been raised to be active my entire life, starting before I could even walk. From horseback riding to playing volleyball, the injuries that I received from any activity never diminished my love for it. And even now, watching others snowboard, it makes me really jealous. And I can't wait for our daughter to be born so that I can teach her to love these things as well. Lu Xiaotian, an accomplished businessman, once said, "Even the accomplished suffers setbacks sometimes. The more bitter the lessons, the greater the success will be. I know that through my injuries, I have had to try harder to be better at the things that I do. Most of the injuries have affected other hobbies as well, and I hope that you don't let any setbacks, whether injuries, disabilities, physical situations, keep you from doing any of the things that you love to do. Thank you.